Look at this pitiable wretch. She's just happy to be holding the controller. She knows it's not plugged in. Ivy players weren't always like this. We used to hurt people. We used to do damage. Ivy, we need you to snap out of it. Ivy, what have they done to you? Ivy, wake up.
What am I watching?
We need this to work.
This is a chart of the light and heavy melee damage that every character in the game does. Pretty much everyone does 50 damage on a light melee and 116 damage on a heavy melee. A few characters get to do extra damage with their punches for various reasons. Oh wait, I'm forgetting somebody. She is the only character that they have done this to. Not only does Ivy start with 15% less melee damage than the rest of the cast, she also experiences 15% less melee damage growth per boon than the rest of the cast. Everything you can buy in the shop to increase your melee damage scales against your base melee damage. All of the damage you can get, weapon damage, melee damage, bullet resist shred, every way to make your punches do more damage scales against this tiny, shitty number. Ivy sucks at punching people. And you cannot buy your way out of it, you cannot wait it out. It's bad and it gets worse as the game goes on. This is not balance, this is punishment, this is retribution. What did Ivy do to deserve this? To answer this question, I reached out to two very knowledgeable players who are both very accomplished on Ivy and, importantly, were both playing at the time that this nerf happened. And I just asked, why do you think that Ivy has a lower base melee damage than the rest of the cast? The first person I reached out to was Deathy, the current rank 1 Ivy player. For one, he thinks it should be reverted. He said, quote, "I am almost 100% sure it got nerfed because melee Ivy was like sort of not terrible, and people would lose their minds versus melee anything because, to be fair, melee was broken. After that, the nerf just stayed." And yeah, that's kind of what I felt about it, that Ivy ate a nerf in advance of the whole mechanic getting nerfed. This was before heavy melee cancel was nerfed. This was back when if you got parried, your debuff resistance could reduce the length of the parry. So you would have Shiv players just stacking debuff resistance and pumping out 800 damage punches holding Q, not caring if they got parried, because the parry only lasted for like half a second and there was no time to punish them. And while it's still odd that Ivy got targeted specifically, it made more sense to me when Deathy said this. Back then I can tell you that extremely targeted nerfs like that were almost certainly from a handful of high MMR players complaining to devs. I know from experience that getting punched to death by Ivy pisses people off more than getting punched to death by any other character. So if somebody was playing melee Ivy at a high level and pissed a bunch of people off and they complained, and it really is just that simple. Also, Wander said all of that same shit verbatim. So now the whole part where I was going to show all his stuff, I still have all the B-reel for that, so you can check that out here. That's pretty good. So now there's only one question left to ask. In the months leading up to December of 2024, there was a melee Ivy player. This guy was so cracked and so annoying that the game itself had to bend to get out of his way. I looked through Deathy's stat locker page and cross-referenced those games against his old VODs, and I found this. This is a player named Mott. It's spelled M-A-H-T, and we can see him in a high MMR lobby. He's dropping a stinky stone form on top of a bebop, heavy meleeing him, cold fronting, and getting killed by a Yamato.
Oh, I think my Ivy's dead as fuck, bro.
This is real footage of Ivy in the Garden of Eden eating the apple. This is the original sin that we're still being punished for today.
No, it's my fault. Don't worry about it.
Coming blue. Ivy, melee damage and growth reduced by 15%. Okay, who cares?